Alternative Facts Chicago.
Chicago's #1 podcast. Chicago.
The city of Chicago. Alternative Facts Chicago.
Chicago's #1 podcast.
This is episode 81 of Alternative Facts Chicago. We got B-Hun back again.
And Kate.
There we go. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Feeling great. It's been a crazy week, but I'm loving it. Post-birthday, another year older and wiser. It was a great weekend, and I am back and ready. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a lot going on, especially in the NFL this past week. So I'm excited to get your thoughts on everything of the last week.
I'm excited too. It's been an awesome week in Chicago too. And then of course it was like 50 something degrees today. It was crazy. Looking at like 60s tomorrow. So I know everyone's excited about that.
You rocking some shorts or what?
No, absolutely not. I will say though, it's so funny to me in Chicago how I always say, like, if you were in a car driving down the street, you'd never know what temperature it is because you'll see someone in like shorts and then you see someone in like jeans and a t-shirt and then you see someone in like a parka and a hat and a scarf. And it's just so weird to me how nobody's fashionably on cue with the weather around here.
And no offense, but you know, white people can't wait to put on shorts. I swear.
Oh, just us. You don't love summer or anything either. Don't start with me.
When it's 50 degrees or like 60, you'll see them out in shorts and flip-flops. Don't lie. Don't act like you know exactly what I'm talking about. To the listeners, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They can't wait to put on shorts.
Well, guys that shouldn't wear flip-flops anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that.
And it's St. Patty's this weekend in Chicago, one of the best weekends of the year. You ready for it?
I'm so ready.
Well, you'll have fun. I'll be down in Tampa. I heard that Tampa, I know obviously Chicago's #1 for St. Patrick's Day parties. We're going to talk about that. But Tampa is rated in the top 5 in the U.S. as well. So I'm excited to see how Tampa St. Patty's weekend is. But I will miss this St. Patty's in Chicago. It's always a great time. Got a lot of friends that are coming in town for us. So I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun for me.
Definitely. We'll all have fun for you.
Yes. So let's plug our social media and get right to it.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on Facebook. Lots of good conversations there about all the articles and the news that we post at Alternative Facts Chicago. Same handle for Instagram. And then on Twitter at AFactsChicago. You can follow me on Instagram at Kate, CAIT, No Jenner. And on Twitter, Kate Hassett.
Yep. And you can find me at BHun1984. That's BHUN. 1984 on Instagram and Twitter. I've had quite a few followers this past week, so sounds like I'm hoping that it's working. Maybe it is. You can always email us sponsorship ideas, relationship advice ideas, which we'll be getting back to that very soon at alternativefactschicago@gmail.com. Please leave a review if you've not left a review for us on iTunes. Don't be shy. It goes a long way at Alternative Facts Chicago. You can always find us on Spotify. Our Spotify listeners are growing. I have been keeping up to date with that, so we appreciate you there. You can always listen on SoundCloud, Google Play, Podbean, wherever you want to listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. But we're not going to waste any time. We have a lot to discuss, so we should get in briefly to our fan of the week. And this guy, I've never given it to him before, always comments on our Facebook posts. You know, good, bad, and different. He always has something to say. But we are going to give our fan of the week to Bradley Meenan, one of my old friends from many years ago. So we appreciate you, you know, at least listening to the podcast, the articles that we do post, whatever you have to say. You do say some crazy stuff sometimes, but you know what? It's all good. We do appreciate you being our fan of the week for episode 81.
Yeah, shout out Bradley, my new friend. Although on a recent article on Facebook, you did call my dad, Greg Hassett, dumb, and I really wasn't down with that. So if you could keep those comments off of Facebook, that'd be cool. But all your other comments, much appreciated.
Come on, you can't be coming at the dads,
yeah.
Bradley. Come on, man.
Yeah, because my dad's like the fan of every week, so.
I feel that. You know what? Facebook, even more so than Twitter, I feel like Facebook, not to say you are one, Brad, but Facebook has a lot of trolls.
Trolls.
Like, they will say some of the darndest stuff that they will 100% never say to your face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I have to stop myself a lot from engaging on Facebook because I'm like, what am I really going to get out of this? Like, I need to stop.
What's up with that? I saw you put a post up about something. You were going back and forth with someone.
No. I wasn't going back and forth. Someone was going back and forth with me. But if you follow us on Facebook, you saw that I recently posted an article on the AFAX page about a new app that helps identify restaurants that are safe for Trump supporters to go, specifically wearing their Make America Great Again hats. And somebody had commented on it. I just like to go read the comments. And somebody had commented that nobody gets attacked by somebody wearing a MAGA hat in public, and it's always the other way around. And all I did was say that that's wrong, because when I was living in South Georgia, when Trump was running for president, he came to do a rally in the town I was living in. It was actually at my alma mater, Valdosta State University. I was very, very not proud of them for hosting that. And I was bartending at Longhorn at the time, and they all came in, all the Trump supporters came in after the rally and were just causing a scene. They were wearing their hats and they were waving the American flags, and they were walking around talking to people and saying, I'm going to pay for everybody's food in here that's not an Obama supporter. And they absolutely were harassing people and making people feel uncomfortable. It was rude. And all I did was comment on it. And I just got backlash that I'm a millennial, and if I didn't have a savvy video of it on my phone, then what didn't really happen. And then somebody started saying that if somebody had come in and punched other people in the face, then it would have been a big deal. And I was like, you guys are idiots. I don't know what y'all are talking about over here, but all I said was that it's happened. So, but I'm a dumb millennial, so like, what do I know, right?
Yeah, facts. I mean, people are such trolls. It's annoying. Like, I even had having a conversation. Actually, it was a pretty good debate. We were talking about Cassius Winston or something like that, and all of a sudden, dude just started hating. And I was like, yo, you got to have your facts straight if you're going to talk, about certain situations or about a topic. And he said, you know what? This specific group site is for hate. And it's like a Big Ten, like, basketball group. Like, this site is for hate. So people even know they can come in there, hate on people, troll people, and they know they'll never, ever meet people in person. So, yeah. I don't know. We're in some weird times right now, but we're definitely digressing.
Definitely in some weird times.
I feel that. But on a positive note, one of my favorite music festivals in Chicago is coming back. Definitely going to have to be in town for this. January. January. I wish it was in January. Definitely too cold in Chicago, though. But June 7th through the 9th, Spring Awakening Music Festival is returning to Chicago. A little bit of a different venue. This year, it will be in Hoffman Estates at Poplar Creek. The positive of it is it's a much bigger venue. They can have over 90 artists. They can do more with the venue and the area. I guess there were a lot of complaints of the previous venue that it has been for the past couple of years. So the main headliners have been announced, which will be DJ Snake, Grizz, Millennium, Martin Garrix, Rez, and Zed. Zed's awesome. DJ Snake's awesome, among others. The full lineup will be released this Friday. So tickets will be on sale. I think GA and VIP passes are on sale now. Full lineup comes out this Friday. It's one of the best and most fun music festivals in Chicago. So we will be doing promos and giveaways leading up to June. But I'm excited for Spring Awakening Music Festival coming back to Chicago, and you will find Alternative Facts Chicago there that weekend.
Cool. I was born in Hoffman Estates.
Oh, yeah? Fun fact.
Yeah, Hoffman Estates made me. Shout out to them.
But who raised you? Like, what they say, somebody made you?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know who I count, because I did 10 years in Illinois, and then I did 10 years in Atlanta, and then I did 10 years in South Georgia, and now I'm back. So who made me?
Yeah, so who you claiming? You can't claim multiple cities.
I don't claim anybody.
I think they say, like, normally the area where you grew up from, like, teen years up until, like, you left for college is kind of like where you're from. Because obviously, like, 1 through 8, you don't remember shit. You don't really know anything. But kind of like when you, like, grew up and became that person, that's kind of like the city where you're really, really from and who made you.
I actually think my disinterest in Atlanta is what made me, because I hated it there. Honestly, if anybody's never been to Atlanta that's listened, and I know some of my friends from Georgia listen, but like Atlanta is a fake city. It sucks. I'm sorry. It's not real. Yeah.
I've had good times in Atlanta, but obviously I've only been there for short periods of time.
Yeah.
But I have said a lot of people that live there don't like it or
Sucks.
didn't like it. It's just a different type of city.
So it's not even a real city. It's a fake city.
I hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. Let's get to it. I know we got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, we got to talk about some football. Obviously, NFL free agency is off to a crazy start. Trades all over the place. It's been like everybody's been glued to their phones trying to figure out what's going on. We got Antonio Brown over on the Raiders, and then just announced, I think, what was it, last night, Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. It's just among some of the moves were made. What's been the best trade of the season so far?
Well, not even trades, NFL free agency. Le'Veon Bell, as of this morning, announced that he's going to be signing with the New York Jets. I think the Baltimore Ravens is getting Mark Ingram. Earl Thomas is going to Baltimore as well. The thing I love about the NFL season is that each and every year, there's just so much parity. I think that's why each and every year, we just have like so many different teams that might be good. Like from one season to the next, your favorite team may not be good any longer, outside of obviously like the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks and teams like that are always at the top. So I love that every team is different from year to year. So much parity. I am becoming a huge fan of the Cleveland Browns. Like they've made so many great moves. They got a great coach, got a quarterback in Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr. They're best friends. They're teamed up together now. Nicholas Chubb's their running back. And a sleeper signing or get, Kareem Hunt. Obviously, he's dealing with the domestic issue, beating up that girl, but they still sign him. He's probably going to be suspended for a little bit, but their offensive stack on paper right now, they might be the best team in the AFC North. So we'll see what happens there, but I am rooting for them. That is a huge get, getting OBJ in Cleveland. Antonio Brown to the Raiders. I mean, the guy won. I mean, he was able to complain, talk shit about his quarterback, and then still ended up getting traded to way out west and negotiated a new contract to get a lot of money up front. So he made out well. He won. Overall, I think of the best, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, and I have to give some love to my Detroit Lions. Quietly, they had a great first few days. I'm not just saying that because I'm a homer with the Detroit Lions. I get it. But getting defensive end Trey Flowers, getting Justin Coleman, getting tight end Jesse James, who was probably the best tight end on the market, getting receiver Danny Amendola from Miami, and the Patriots is also a good get. They re-signed Zach Zenner. They got a guard, I think, an offensive guard. And this is even before the NFL draft where they have 9 picks coming up. So kudos to the Detroit Lions. They're basically becoming the Detroit Patriots as they keep picking up New England Patriots. And I'm all for it if they actually win some games. So shout out to the Lions. Shout out to the Browns. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Trey Flowers to the Lions was definitely on my list. And I love that you talked about how it's anyone's game at this point, like year to year, any team could be good because, with Odell Beckham going to the Browns, all of a sudden, like Vegas is saying the Browns are a Super Bowl pick. And obviously it's not just him. Like the team has made some other pivotal changes, like you pointed out in the trade time, but it's just crazy. Like now Vegas is just saying like that it's their game, and it's too early to tell. But if the Browns could come back this season and win the Super Bowl or even the playoffs, be contenders, I mean, that would be some freaking football. That would be a freaking story. So I love that. I also really appreciated the Jaguars picking up Nick Foles. I thought that was a really, really sweet move. I've always liked the Jaguars. Where I went to college was like an hour and a half away from them, and I always thought that they were like a good team, but totally, first of all, young and totally not appreciated by their city or anyone else. So I thought that was a really good pick, and I'd like to see them do well this season.
Good decision mentioning the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had a great pickup getting Nick Foles, and it's no secret Blake Bortles had a horrible season. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense, you could tell, did not have confidence in them. They packed it in the past season, and that's why they had a bad year. Just the year before, they made the AFC Championship game. So they do have a good team, a good roster coming back. Getting a quality quarterback can change everything around. I do like the fact that a lot of small market teams have been doing a great job at free agency, like Jacksonville, like Cleveland. Detroit's a bigger city, but still a small market, I guess, in the NFL terms. So good to see them doing well, not just always the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys of the world. So I love the parody. One comment I did want to make in regards to Le'Veon Bell. You got your money, amazing. You paid, you're set. But signing that contract with the Jets just leads me to believe it was all about the money for you. It's not about winning. The Jets are better, but they are nowhere near the Super Bowl caliber team. And they're in New York, so he'll be fine. He's got a lot of money. Not sure they're going to win there. I really think deep down, he didn't want to go to the New York Jets, but no other team coughed up the money to get him. So obviously he's got to take the big contract. But kudos to you for getting paid. But I'm not betting on the New York Jets anytime soon.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm excited though. So we'll be ready for the NFL season coming up very soon. We'll be talking about it more coming up toward the NFL draft.
Yeah, there's still a lot of moves to be made. So
oh yeah,
we will be looking out.
We'll definitely be talking about it. Switching gears, Jay Leno. We haven't talked about Jay Leno in quite
Ever?
some time.
Okay.
I mean, not on this show, but definitely just in general, period. Like, he's actually been low-key. He's been quiet, and kind of really got an idea why. So Jay Leno recently appeared on the Today Show with Al Roker, and he basically said that he does not miss late-night television one single bit. And the main reason, which, thinking about it now, totally makes sense, is because you can't even really talk about politics without it really being a one-sided view. And if so, it basically will cause controversy. So I'll read a quote. It said, "No, it's different. I don't miss it. You know, everything now is if people don't like your politics, everyone has to know your politics. But when people see you as one-sided, it just makes it tough." Before in the past, he mentioned how, you know, Bill Clinton, you could talk about him being horny all the time, or George Bush, you can talk about him being an idiot all the time. And it was funny. He used to, like, make jabs at both people. Now, you know, all the Tonight Show hosts, like, obviously in the past they had Conan O'Brien, but now, who's the thing? Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. You know, right now it's like you have to be so straightforward and not talk about politics. It has hurt the ratings, and it's hurt the comedic value of the show overall. Obviously, Donald Trump, he jumped in as well with his comments too. Of course, he has to refute everything. Overall, do you agree with Jay Leno that the Tonight Show and all the late night shows have lost its luster due to politics and everyone being sensitive in 2019?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. And even if you don't just look at Jimmy Kimmel and Jay Leno and all these shows, it's even on SNL. Like, how political has SNL gotten recently? And I thought it was so interesting that he basically said it's because of Trump. And I think a lot of that is so true. And you know, it's not like abnormal for people on the left to be blaming Trump for the tension in our country right now, but it just seems to have gotten so much worse around 2016. And that really just seems to be like the pivotal moment where it's like nobody thought he was really going to win. Everybody thought it was a joke. And I think late night television really boomed off that. You know, they really made him the butt of their jokes and made it happen. And then all of a sudden he won, and it was just like, what the hell? And it's like, I even think people that voted for him didn't really think it was going to happen. So I think that this shift that we've made has really been because of Trump. I think that's interesting that he pointed out. And I mean, I can't watch a lot of those shows for too long because all they do is talk about politics, and it's too much for me. And he even went on to say that he was getting like death threats from both sides. Like, he would get letters in from both sides being like, you're an idiot and F this and F that, and you have no reason to be on air and you suck and you should die. I mean, that's extreme. Like, at the end of the day, he's a comedian, but we're just so sensitive right now from a racial perspective, from a political perspective, from every perspective. Everyone is sensitive. Everybody trolls you and thinks it's okay. And, you know, nobody's actually having the discussions. They're just using humor to talk about politics. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just a sensitive time overall. We mentioned it on last week's episode. Just, you can't say anything on social media, or it's always like the flavor of the day. Like, someone's up in arms about something. The next day it's something different. So everyone's PC. You can't say anything like controversial, or one side or the other is absolutely going to kill you in the media or on social media for that next day. So like I said earlier, it's some weird times going on. And I'm not shocked that Jay Leno does not miss, the Tonight Show or any late night talk show. And I'm not a big late night talk show fan, even back then, and definitely not now. So it looks like from the ratings that they're doing okay from show to show. Like the Tonight Show used to be number one. It's not right now. I think Stephen Colbert's show is number one. So I kind of get that. But at the end of the day, it is crazy. And I don't know if that'll ever change. Maybe it'll get back to normal once Donald Trump is out of presidency. But I don't see anything changing for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I did enjoy his tweets basically saying that if Jay Leno has nothing to talk about politics, or if late night TV has nothing to talk about but politics, then it's boring. And Al Roker checked him real fast and was like, that's legitimately not what he said. You're an idiot. So I like Al Roker. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he's super cool. All right. Well, tell us what you think. Let us know on Facebook because we really be interested in your thoughts. Is this going to be late night television going forward? Are we too political? Is it ever going to change? Let us know. Moving on to some basketball news. So Russell Westbrook got into a really heated argument just this past week. They were playing Utah, the Jazz, and he started an argument with a fan. So apparently what happened was the fan was yelling at Westbrook, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, that Westbrook should be getting on his knees like he used to, and Westbrook got really angry and started coming at the fan and his wife, threatening them both, basically calling it out as being racial. He said that he would F them up, him and his wife, just cussing nonstop. It was kind of scary from the video, to be honest. And so he's now been fined $25,000 for directing profanity and threatening language to a fan. But obviously this isn't the first time we've seen it happen, and it's not the last time we're going to see it happen. But why do fans get free passes at sporting events like that? Why are they allowed to troll professional athletes and we always take the fan side?
Well, hopefully now that this Jazz fan, I think his name's Shane Keisel, he's been banned from the arena permanently. So hopefully this is the start of saying, hey, you can come be a fan at the game, but watch your mouth, be respectful to the players, and just shut up and enjoy the game. You can cheer positively or negatively, but don't just downright degrade the players, because deep down they can't do anything, because if they do, of course, it's going to cause a scene and they're going to get suspended and they're going to hurt their team on the field. The reason why I'm in support of Russell Westbrook in this situation is simply for the fact that this has happened multiple times in Utah alone. I saw multiple clips of previous seasons of Utah fans berating him, talking down to him, calling him a yes man, calling him a boy, and you can tell a racial tone. And you can tell he's just sick of it. It's just, at the end of the day, they're men. You have to respect each other, even outside of the game of basketball. And I'm almost glad that he checked those guys to say, you know what, I am an NBA player, but I'll still F you up at the end of the day. So $25,000 fine, who cares? That's maybe a one-game check. That's chump change to Russell Westbrook to make a point. But at the end of the day, the bigger thing is, and I'll say that till I'm blue in the face, I'm a fan going to the game. Respect the players. Go enjoy the game. Don't go there to heckle them in a negative way to where you're taking it too far. You can heckle the player in a fun way. Don't heckle them to where it's blatantly racist. In places like Utah, I'm sure it happens in other city. It happens more and more, and it needs to stop. It's just gone way too far. It's bogus. And Russell Westbrook, yes, he is a type of player where he's high energy. He'll get in your face. He's the wrong guy to mess with, but I'm sure it happens to other players, and they may not say anything, but it's happened to him too many times. So I'm glad he stuck up for himself. The same way Antonio Brown did. I think a lot of players need to take their own career in their hand. And that's what he did. So he'll take the fine, but I'm glad that guy got banned. And two, I saw it all over Twitter. Multiple people put his work down, his phone number down, work number down, email down. So in the age of social media, they'll figure it out. So that guy definitely had a rough week.
Dang, that's crazy. Right. I just who goes to a game to troll professional players? Maybe this is just not, I don't troll people online. I don't think about it, but if I'm at a game, I'm there to be at the game. And let alone this is somebody that's paid enough money to be sitting close enough to the court that Westbrook would have heard him and other people would have heard him. So it's well, why are you really here? Is this what you came for? 'Cause That just seems like a waste of time. Yeah, it's crazy. But honestly, I'm with you. I mean, I think that there's a difference between a drunk fan trolling a player for sucking, or, you know, when the Bears fans would troll Jay Cutler or Cody Parkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there's a difference between the two instances. Like, this is like them going after him. It's been on more than one account. There's a history of, you know, fan abuse, like you said. And so while I don't think he should have reacted, I really can't blame him for doing so. He's human at the end of the day.
For sure. And in the heat of the game, you know, he's already playing in the game. He just came off the court to get a break, so he's already amped up. And you have to turn around and hear someone heckling you like that. So I think obviously he's just already charged up. So I totally get it. I may have reacted the same way. It may not have been totally a right thing to do, but in the heat of the moment, you know, everyone, especially men, have emotions like that. So he had the right to defend himself, and that's what he did. So I'm not mad at it. Yeah,
but we definitely need to be holding fans accountable for their actions and stopping this.
100%. So let us know your thoughts. We'll put an article up on Facebook or something. That's a good dialogue to have to know, you know, who's right, who's wrong, you know, and I think there is, I guess everyone's going to have an opinion, but at the end of the day, it's good to have dialogue and maybe to help fix some of these issues at these sporting events.
Agreed.
Let's get into our favorite segment, Everything Chicago. And we mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. St. Patrick's Day is this Saturday in Chicago. So I think the real St. Patty's Day, is it either Sunday or Tuesday? I know it's not Saturday. What's the actual real St. Patty's Day? Do you know?
It's really Sunday.
It is Sunday. But
yeah.
I was in Chicago. Big Bad Chicago has its own St. Patty's Day. So obviously, dyeing the river green. Chicago was voted the #1 St. Patrick's Day celebration. Lots to do, like the parade, dyeing of the river. There's booze cruises, pub crawls. Irish restaurants are going to be on fire. Wrigley Pop-Up Bar, Charmed, is going to be released on Saturday. So every single bar is going to have deals. It's going to be busy. I think the weather's going to actually be decent for this weekend, too. So what are your thoughts? I know you've been obviously back in Chicago for a while. You know, what are your thoughts on St. Patty's Day? What are you going to be doing? You're going to be staying out of trouble, or just this weekend in general?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to be back. I actually wasn't here for St. Patty's Day last year. I lived here, but I was out of town. So this will be my first real 21 and up St. Patty's Day in Chicago. I'm very excited. I have some friends coming in town, and we got tickets to go on a booze cruise and watch them dye the river, which, by the way, I booked a booze cruise for 9 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see how my day goes from there. But yeah.
We do a remote St. Patty's Day episode. I give you full reign to do a special episode this
Thank you. I'll just go live on Facebook. That's some incriminating information. I don't know if I should do that.
Come on.
But I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really great time. I'm going to go out to the parade and stuff. I will say I was surprised that Chicago is still #1, because I know it goes back and forth with Savannah, Georgia. It's also a large St. Patty's population. Party. And it's a lot of fun there because they have the historic River Street. So I'm excited to see what Chicago brings to the table. What?
They were not on this list. So according to Wallet Hubs on the Chicago Sun-Times, it was Chicago, Philadelphia, Madison, Wisconsin, Boston, and Tampa were deemed top 5 cities to celebrate St. Patty's Day. That's according to Wallet Hubs. So.
That's crazy. Madison, Wisconsin. What is the deal with Madison? Recently I keep hearing how fun Madison is. Why is it so fun?
And it's not so far from Chicago. It's only 3 hours, so you need to get up there for a weekend.
I guess so.
I have been once.
Was it lit? Did you have so much fun?
I mean, it was fun, but not to where it's making all these top 5 best places to go.
Yeah.
University of Wisconsin is considered top 5 craziest party school in the country. I don't know about that, but apparently Madison's the place to be.
Oh.
Right?
Interesting. Nuts. Okay, so we got to talk about some R.Kelly news. Obviously, he has been released on bail from his 10... or released on bond from his 10 accusations of sexual assault. Now he's being indicted for past child support payments. I don't know what is going on with this man, but we now know that he's staying at Trump Tower in downtown Chicago while he's out on bail. Obviously, they've seized his residency and he can't go back to Atlanta. So he's staying at the Trump Tower, mind you, a man that has no money. And Yeah, I don't know. It's a really good question. And so now, just recently in this past week, an anonymous caller called in a tip that some of the alleged abuse victims of R.Kelly are in some kind of suicide pact, and they were planning on carrying it out this week. Authorities showed up to Trump Tower, and obviously none of which happened. What the hell is going on?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like, as terrible as to say, I can't wait for the R. Kelly biopic, like 20 years from now. It's gonna be nuts. It's like everything that's going on. Like his interview last week, that will never not be funny. Like the memes I see.
Yeah.
Anytime I could be in a bad mood, which isn't always, rarely, but I could be in a bad mood. I'll see a clip of that and I'll start laughing. Like that was Oscar award winning, Academy Award. Give him all the awards. That was amazing. Like that was amazing. But anyway, I don't know what's going on, and I know he was back in court just today for obviously, he got arrested again for child support, made bail. He was back in court today for a hearing to get his child support payments lowered. Obviously, because he's saying he can't tour. They took all his music off streaming services, so he has no income. So I guess he's got to get those lowered. He was back in court today for that. And then now this, the alleged victims, suicide. I really don't know what's going on. I don't have the answers. I'm sick of talking about him, but obviously, while his case is going on, we're going to have to, especially being in Chicago. This is absolutely nuts. Like, it's just one thing after the other. He might have to commit suicide because he is screwed. He is effed, and he's going to prison for a long time. That's why I think he had that meltdown last week, because he knew that the walls were finally caving in, and he's caught.
It's crazy. That interview was amazing. And how Gayle King just remained so stoic the entire time was beyond me, because I cannot say I would have done the same. Like, I cannot say I would have been like, "Oh, Kelly, could you sit your ass down and stop yelling at me?" Like, I don't know how she did it. It was amazing. I'm just worried at really like what's going to happen though, because as of right now, still, there's no current victims that are saying what he's doing. So, if you saw the interview with the two girls that are in the custody right now, Israel Clary, they're still saying, like, he's never abused us. Like, our parents just want money from him, this, that, and the other, and they're taking his side. So I can't believe they let him do the interview. I cannot even fathom the moral compass on his attorney and his PR person and his lawyer, because, geez, like, how can you really feel okay fighting to get this man off right now after he's ruined so many lives? But I'm still partly fearful that he's going to get let go.
I think so, too. And you'd be surprised. Like, I was reading some reports and some stories saying that interview almost helped his case.
Yeah.
Just the simple fact that people were saying, like, obviously, he was so serious and crying that maybe he really isn't doing this. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he did it. He's guilty.
Right.
His PR people told him to go shed some tears and see what happens. That's what he did. That guy is lying. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
And even if not, he had a meltdown because he knew it was over. That boy's lying, and he's screwed.
Yeah. It's not about the music.
Oh my God! You're killing me with this. Oh my God! I want to go watch it because I need another laugh. That was dope. But also, speaking of music in Chicago, pop icon Britney Spears, she is actually, this is crazy. So she's actually getting a Britney Spears musical stage comedy is set for Chicago. So producers of the new musical stage comedy is going to be called Once Upon a One More Time. They say their show will use Spears' hit songs, Oops, I Did It Again, Baby One More Time, Toxic, and Stronger, which I love Stronger. That was probably my favorite song she ever had.
It's a good song.
That was a fire song back in the day. So they're going to have their world premiere this fall in Chicago at the James M. Nederlander Theater. The previews begin in October. So the show's story centers on classic fairy tale princesses like Cinderella, Snow White, and learning that their happy ever after may take some work. So Britney Spears in an article said this is a dream come true. Of course, because she's going to get paid a lot of money for it.
Right. All the royalties.
Absolutely. So what are your thoughts on that? You going to attend? Is this something you're excited about?
Oh yeah, super excited. Britney Spears is my jam. I grew up to that music. So I think it's going to be great. I think what's interesting is they went ahead, Chicago on Broadway went ahead and made this announcement in the last couple days because they were about to air the Michael Jackson play, which has since been pulled from Chicago on Broadway. So I think that this was a really great alternate. I think a lot of people are going to go crazy. I think it's going to be like the girls' night out, and women are going to want to bring their daughters to show them Britney Spears. And I think it's going to be a really fun time. I definitely will be in attendance.
I would love to actually attend that. I think it'd be pretty decent. So something different.
Definitely.
Musicals are dope if you find a good comedy musical. So it'll probably be funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Who was your favorite 90s pop princess star? Was it Britney Spears? Was it Christina?
I would probably say I was more of a Christina fan. I think she was just seen a little more authentic, a little more rugged around the edges. Her voice is just raspier.
A little sluttier. That's why you liked her.
Yeah, maybe that's what she wore. Sort of squirts. Sort of skirts.
Those dreads and everything. Yeah, you were into that.
Ass to her. Britney Spears is the all-American white girl, which is probably why she went crazy and shaved her head.
Yeah.
But, she made a comeback, so she made out just fine. They both made out just fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's yours?
I liked Christina Aguilera's voice a lot better. Britney Spears had that I don't know, I don't like that. I wasn't a fan of that, but yeah, I did like Britney Spears a lot, so I liked them both. That was my age group.
Facts.
Yeah. Okay. So we got to talk about some CTA news if we're talking about Chicago, because they are all over the news right now, spending $4 million on reconstruction on the Red Line, specifically at the Addison stop right near Wrigley. We're seeing some Wrigley construction going on in addition with the construction of the Red Line stop on Addison. And it's just shut down that whole area by Wrigleyville. No northbound CT or L cars are coming in to Addison, which means that basically anybody from the Loop can't stop at Addison. It goes straight through. The bus stop out front is closed. Construction's going now overnight to accommodate the issue, and they're hoping it's going to be done by the end of the month. That's why they're working through the night. But everybody is freaking out about the construction noise, saying they can't sleep, saying it's all inconvenient and they can't get to work. Everybody's already mad about the Wrigley construction up there. What is going on, and do you think it's going to be fixed by the end of the month and people will be happy again, or are they just trying things to complain about?
So it'll probably be fixed just for that very reason that people are complaining. I feel like there's been a lot of construction on the Red Line in general, I feel like for a long time, even just recently. So, I mean, if it needs to be fixed, obviously you can't be on a faulty train. The worst thing that can happen in the city of Chicago is a disaster happens on a train, multiple people get killed. Right. Imagine the nasty PR press that'll happen around the country if that happens. So my advice, don't live by a train. That's kind of my advice. It is loud. I don't know how people do it. I've been at places in Chicago where people live by trains and it starts rattling and shaking every 5 minutes. I guess if you live by it over time, you get used to it, but forget all that. I would never do it. So not my thing. But in terms of the commute, I mean, it happens all the time, different parts of the city. They're always going to be working on trains. It's never going to stop. You can avoid it, go around it, plan earlier. People just like to complain, or don't take the train.
There you go. Work from home.
Man, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't really see why people are that bent out of shape about it. Do you not understand? I mean, whatever. If you live right there, you're going to hear it. I get that that's annoying or whatever. But I mean, do you want them to just never fix it? Do you want to just be on a train that breaks down? I mean, how long has the L been running in Chicago?
That could be a fun fact.
Yeah. My dad took the L when he lived here as a bachelor. So, he's old. It's been a long time. I feel like did you think that we're not going to have to do repairs every once in a while? Come on.
Exactly.
Stop complaining.
Exactly.
Get over it.
People always complain about something. You know that.
Definitely will. I definitely do. I guess I am a little bit salty that it shut down my stop, but it also makes a purple line go through in the morning, so I don't have to transfer and I can just go straight to the Loop. So that's pretty nice.
Oh, well, there you go. What you complaining about?
I'm not complaining. It's fine. I'll walk a little farther to get home. It's beautiful weather. I'll enjoy it.
For now, until it gets cold again, then you're going to be absolutely not. You'll be complaining again.
On that note, let's talk about some quick hits. We got to stop a second and thank our sponsors of Quick Hits, Posh by Imani. It is chic, affordable apparel out of Houston, Texas. Check them out online, Posh by Imani, IMANI.com. Also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Shout out to Madison. They are amazing.
Yes. And we're going to be doing more work with them going forward. So you'll be hearing more from Posh by Imani.
Show. All right, what we got in Quick Hits?
All right, let's do it. So first, this weekend in Chicago, this is always one of my favorite weekends. Chicago's like right after my birthday, St. Patty's Day. Also, the Big Ten tournament is usually either in Indianapolis, but this weekend it is back in Chicago. Big Ten is going to have a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament. So this is just kind of like a warm-up or precursor to see who are the hottest teams going into Selection Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. So notable teams, Michigan State, the number 1 seed, Wisconsin, the number 4 seed, Purdue, the number 2 seed, and Michigan, the number 3 seed. Obviously, Michigan State beat Michigan twice this year. They are the top, 2 or 3 seeds. They are on pace potentially to face each other in the Big Ten tournament championship again as well. So I don't know if you keep up with the Big Ten hoops, but who's your favorite to win the Big Ten tournament this weekend?
I'm not really that into college basketball. I watch it when I can watch it, but I'm going to go Purdue.
Okay. They did have a tie for first in the Big Ten with Michigan State, and their coach did win Coach of the Year this year. So you're going with Purdue then, you're saying?
Yeah, who are you going with?
For this tournament, it's tough because, like, a tournament, whoever the hottest team is, people are riding on Michigan State because they are playing well. My guy Cassius Winston did win Big Ten Player of the Year. And I want to say I told you so to a lot of people who doubted all his skills all these years. I'm just going to say I told you so. He's a great player. And you guys all have the boo-boo face, and I've gotten a lot of apologies. So I will get off my soapbox. But please stop doubting my basketball acumen because I know what I'm talking about, and Cassius is the man. But I'm going with Michigan to win the Big Ten tournament. They deserve it. They've had a good season. They've lost some close games to some good teams. But this is the time of year where I trust Coach John Beilein over anyone else. I'm going Michigan to win the Big Ten tournament. They'll get a top 2 seed in the NCAA tournament next week and make the Final Four. I am going with Michigan.
Cool. We will have to see what happens.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Tuesday of this week was the 30-year anniversary of the internet. Happy birthday, World Wide Web.
Facts.
What is the most important invention in history so far? Is it the internet or is it something else?
You always want to think of the internet, but I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go with the cell phone because what the hell did we do without cell phones back in the day? Like, I remember as a kid, I would go out with my friends, play. I'd be all over the city of Detroit on bikes. My mom didn't know where the hell I was. I'm starting to think, like, if we were out somewhere, like, how did we communicate? Like, if something happened, what did we do? Like, stop at a payphone? I didn't have quarters on me as a kid. Like, we would just be out and about. Like, I could get kidnapped and people would never find me. So the fact that we have cell phones now, like, kids have cell phones now. Like, a lot of times if, my daughter's going to be out somewhere for a long period of time, I don't even feel comfortable without her not even having a cell phone, even though she does not have one yet. So it's crazy, but I think we're at different times. The only downside of a cell phone is I feel like we're all becoming robots to it. Like, if you walk down the street, everyone is on their cell phone. If you're at the bar, everyone's on their cell phone. So we are becoming robots. But I think without cell phones in general, we would be screwed. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so when you say, like, invention, is that something that's tangible? Like, do you have to be able to hold it?
I think so, right? I mean, someone invented the cell phone. We didn't have a cell phone before, so you had to invent it, right? Like, where did it come from?
So because I was thinking it more like invention, something that is invented. Like, I'm thinking it's language as a whole. You know what I mean? Because that had to be invented. Somebody had to come up with words to mean things that they wanted to communicate. And literally, if we had no way to communicate, if we had no language, we would have nothing.
So you're saying talking was invented?
Well, yeah, but like language, like somebody had to develop a language in order to clearly communicate thoughts. Otherwise, we'd be like walking around like caveman, like grunting, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, you know what I mean? So language to me is like the biggest invention in history because we literally couldn't communicate without language.
Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying.
Is that a thing? Like, is that his invention? I mean, it's got to be, right? Somebody had to invent it.
Language. But I feel, I guess so. But I feel like obviously every nationality has his own language. I guess I never thought about that.
Yeah, but who invented it?
I don't know. I guess you should do some research and find out.
Maybe. Anyway, I'm going with language.
All right, and I'm going with the cell phone. Let us know what's the biggest invention. But having the internet, too, that changed the game. Even back when it was like dial-up, like when we had it would take like 10 minutes for one page to load. Like,
You've got mail.
Loaded, you would be so, if you got mail, you'd be so excited.
Yeah.
Like now, if something doesn't load in like 5 seconds, I'm pissed.
Me too. I'm exiting out the browser and starting it back up. I'm like, hell no.
Hilarious. Speaking of the internet and streaming services, Apple will unveil its video streaming service on March the 25th. Will this lead to other music platforms creating one as well?
I think so. I think we're going to see it happen more readily. A lot of these companies are really figuring out that in order to stay around for years and years and years, the way Apple has, they have to completely reinvent all the time. They have to keep adding things that they can do. And so I think the smart companies will adapt as well and start adding services like this.
I hear that. Like Spotify probably will. They have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to.
Tidal, I don't have Tidal, but I don't know if they do stream, but they'll probably have to get in the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, YouTube already does. Instagram kind of does a streaming thing. And side note, that Instagram IGTV, that's fucking stupid. Like, they need to get rid of it. Like, anytime I click on it by accident, I like hurry up and get off of it. I don't know one person who uses it on a regular basis. That's a fail. But I feel like all these places are going to do it. Obviously, Facebook has streaming services now too. So WWE Network has had it for a while. Wildly successful, so that's just the wave of the future.
Agreed. I'm with you. So Kevin Hart's Netflix special drops on April 2nd. He also just had a Netflix show just recently for Black History Month where it was like drunk history where they like make fun of history, but he was teaching his fake daughter on this fake show, Black History. It was like really interesting,
wow.
Geared towards kids. Do you even think he's still funny in 2019?
So I like Kevin Hart. I think he's funny. I hear a lot of people say that he's not. They're like, oh, he used to be funny, but now he's not. But I feel like a lot of people, once they get super, super famous, everyone thinks they've changed and they're not the same. I still think Kevin Hart is the exact same person. I think what makes him funny is his mannerisms as opposed to the actual jokes himself. So I still think he's funny. He's one of my favorite comedians. You know, I feel like he's a genuine good dude, so I support what he does. I do like the fact that in his movie roles now, he's starting to expand and not just do the same funny Kevin Hart role. He's like growing his career. So I still rock with him. I'm a fan. He's wildly successful. He's rich as shit. So I rock with him. What about you?
I think he's funny. He's never been like somebody that I thought was the funniest. But, I mean, I think he's still funny, but he's still the same. I mean, he's definitely making the same joke. So if you're expecting to see something different, you're not going to.
I hear that. People are always like, oh, Cat Williams is better, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, yada, yada, yada. I mean, each their own, but I mean, he has held his own in his career, right up with them, has definitely made more money than most, so shout out to Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I will support this next show, whatever it's called that he's doing because of the way he handled the Oscars thing personally.
Oh, yeah.
I have mad respect for him over that, to be honest.
That was a bold move. And for that, I promise you, he will host the Oscars in the future.
Oh, yeah.
The door is not closed, so he definitely will. I think it's the Irresponsible Tour. I think it was a show in like London or somewhere overseas, so that'll be good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move to some music news. So Chicago's own Juice Wrld is now set on pace for 150,000 record sales. He's got a #1 album this week. Are you a fan of Juice Wrld?
So obviously shout out to him for being from Chicago, but I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. I feel like he's similar to like the Lil Uzi Verts and the Lil Yachty. It's like the singing rappers like lane of right now, which he has a lane. Obviously he's wildly popular. I get it, but it's just not for me. But obviously being from Chicago, shout out to him for that. But I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. What about you?
He's grown on me a lot. I feel like it's like his own genre. It's like this moody, sad boy music. I think he's actually doing it different than Lil Uzi Vert. I think his is better. And he's put out, a couple good albums. I can see why he's selling. But, he's 20. I feel like he's going to phase out eventually.
Oh, yeah. Do you see him being around in 5+ years? I don't.
No.
Like, he's kind of like how, like, XXXTentacion was, obviously. rest in peace to him. But like that whole lane and wave of like singing rap is definitely a phase. And if he doesn't evolve in the next 5 years, he won't be around. But for now, shout out to him for that. I'm sure he'll be all over like the festival circuit this year. So if you're around, want to see him, go for it. And then keeping in the music, and I talked to you about this. He's like, wait, what? Huh? White rapper beef is back alive. Mayonnaise on mayonnaise crime.
Oh my God.
Back alive. And I want to know why white rappers keep beefing with each other. Like, if you ever notice, they never collab with each other. Like, you never see two white artists on a song together outside of maybe like Eminem and Yelawolf, only because they were on the same label. But if you've been living under a rock this past week, it's been all over the media. Yelawolf has been gearing up for his next album, I think, called Trunk Music 3. And on a song, I think it's called like Bloody Sunday or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a almost like a freestyle. Obviously, it wasn't a freestyle. It was definitely written, but he dropped it this past weekend. He takes several shots at G-Eazy, Post Malone, and even mentions Machine Gun Kelly, even though I don't think it's a diss. Seeing though I heard he's actually on his upcoming album. Is this clickbait for his upcoming album, or why are all these white rappers still beefing with each other?
I literally don't care. I don't understand. I don't understand the beef. Like, the only thing I can really think about is that I feel like all these white rappers just feel like they have so much more to prove to the hip hop world. And so they're always just trying to beef with each other. I don't really know what it is, but I've listened to Yelawolf. Obviously, I really like G-Eazy. MGK is not my boy. That's your boo. But I feel like Yelawolf and Post Malone aren't even really the same. Post Malone's a pop star, and that's what Yelawolf said, and Post Malone got all offended, and I was like, bruh, did you hear better now? You're a pop star. I don't know.
He is.
Yeah, it doesn't take anything away from him. He's still a great artist. I really enjoy him, and he does great collabs, but he's not, I don't think of him as being a white rapper the way I think of any of the others on the list.
I hear that. I do like Post Malone's comeback. Just this morning, he said Yelawolf's a nerd. And he said,
"Oh yeah, I saw that.
The only support I will offer of this album." He said, "Also, please show me all of your Chill Bill shit, please." Basically saying that deep down in the past, Yelawolf has rocked with Post Malone. And the last part that was hilarious was basically saying, "I will steal your band. Let me know when your band is done with you. Your dookie wants to play some actual good music." That was a great ether because yes, Post Malone makes much greater music and better music,
and more known music.
Oh, 100%.
Post Malone is way more known than Yelawolf.
I think Yelawolf only did this to create buzz for his album. He is cold as ice right now in the music lane, and it gets people talking. And now they're going to want to check for his album to see, what's he going to say next? Is he going to say something about MGK? When I heard that MGK is on his album and they're cool and it's a song together. So he's just trying to get people to listen to his album. He didn't need to go at G-Eazy. I don't expect G-Eazy to respond. It's just clickbait to get people interested, but this was good. Yelawolf can rap, but at the end of the day, I'm not a huge fan. I like all three better than him, so he's just trying to get some juice right now because he is definitely ice cold.
Yeah, he's just taking a page out of Soulja Boy's book right now.
Oh yeah, they'll be over. It's the flavor of the day. Yeah. They'll be talking about something else very soon. Before we get off of music, I did just read that Drake and Future announced What a Time to Be Alive 2 is finished and it's in the works. You hype about that or what? Yeah,
absolutely. That was a great album, and I'm very excited.
I am too. We can keep that short and sweet. I'm pumped. I like Drake when he's in the Future type bag, when he's making songs like that. I like rapping at Drake, Drake for the club. That's the Drake that I like, not crooning Drake, singing Drake, or sad Drake past, but
I like all of Drake, every little bit of him.
Okay, all right. Tell us how you really.
Drake is bae. You already knew that.
Oh, okay.
I've always been in love with Drake.
Anyway, I'm down for Drake and Future, and I hope that drops this summer, late spring, early summer. Perfect time to drop it right before the summer.
Word.
Getting off of this, everyone's been talking about. Women have been talking about The Bachelor. Of course, at work today, everyone's talking about The Bachelor.
And you, apparently.
Not really, but I figured we should at least mention it. But coming up, Hannah B., I think she was on this past season of The Bachelor. She did not win, but she was announced as the next Bachelorette. I know you don't care, but is she a good choice?
Okay, so Michelle, our resident Bachelor advisor, I texted her to see what she thought, and she said Hannah B is an idiot. She can't even form a sentence.
Wow,
So Michelle has spoken. I obviously don't watch it. I obviously don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. So, and if not her, then who? I feel like they should stop just picking like the people who didn't win their season. I feel like they should make it more of a reward for winning the season. Like, oh, if you come in second or third, we'll pick you next. Like maybe start picking people from the outside or having auditions like they used to. I feel like they're getting lazy with it, and I mean, it is what it is. But I'm definitely not watching either.
Well, and then also, like, what I was thinking is that the way they do it now, it's probably less of an incentive to even try to win. Like, they're probably just trying to come in second because then they're going to get their own spin-off.
Yep, you come on, be a good character, make it very far, and basically be must-see TV, and you'll be the next Bachelor or Bachelorette. That's exactly what it's come to.
Right, absolutely. All right, moving on. Speaking of strong female characters, Captain Marvel was announced as this weekend officially the highest ever grossing movie with a female lead. It beat out Beauty and the Beast remake with Emma Watson. It beat out Wonder Woman with Eva Doe. Are you going to see it now, or why? Why not?
I'm not going to, only because I've never been a big Marvel fan. It's just not something I got into. I can see why people enjoy it, so I'm not hating by any means. It's just not for me. But if you do support it, shout out to you. I do hear good reviews. People get so high, like social media. People are like full out conversations over it. So I feel like the reason I'm not is because I'm so far out of it. It's like, where do you start? Where do you catch up at? But I do understand why people rock with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. This one didn't really speak to me the way like the other ones did. Like I saw Wonder Woman and I really liked it, but I wasn't like as hyped to see this one, and I don't necessarily know why. So maybe I'll check it out, but I don't know.
You're not.
You said probably not?
No, you're not.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Let's be honest, I'm not.
Who are you kidding? No, you're not.
Whatever. I could do it. I definitely watch more movies than TV.
Yeah, okay, I will give you that. Yes, you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clown of the week time. I think we got some good ones this week.
We do.
So I went first last week, so
okay.
You're up.
All right, so my clown of the week goes to this gentleman named Dennis who lives in Pennsylvania, who all of a sudden randomly last week was going through old VHS tapes in his home and found a tape labeled R.Kelly's name that he miraculously discovered and thought was a concert, only to pop it in the VCR. Where he got that, I don't know, and figure out that it was a tape of R. Kelly sexually abusing some underage women. So R. Kelly's people have come forward and say this is definitely not R. Kelly. This is someone else. But Dennis immediately obviously brought it to the media and to the authorities, right? But to the media and did a press conference. So Dennis is my clown of the week because something here is not lining up. Where did you get this tape, Dennis? Why were you just randomly going through VHS tapes recently, Dennis? Why do you live in Pennsylvania and have nothing to do with Chicago, Dennis? What is going on? Like, something here is not right. My speculation is that somebody was holding on to this tape for money, realized they were never going to get any more hush money out of R. Kelly, gave it to Dennis and said, hey, come forward with this, and he did. But this is literally, there's some foul play here. I don't understand why he got the tape. I don't understand why he was just randomly doing spring cleaning last week and found it, and I don't understand why he would have assumed it was a VHS tape of a concert. Who brought VHS recorders into concerts? Dennis, you're an idiot. You're my clown of the week. Something here is not right, and I feel like everybody's going to get to the bottom of it sooner or later.
And why all of a sudden now this past week, all through the midst of all the R. Kelly drama,
right,
now it comes to like...
Yeah, absolutely. It's because somebody figured out they weren't going to be able to hold this over R. Kelly's head because one, he's already going to jail, and two, he spent all the hush money he was going to give you. He can't even pay his child support.
That's crazy. So, man, that whole saga, they just can't win. It's one thing.
Well, and it's terrible because if we had done spring cleaning, 10 years ago and found this, none of this shit would have ever happened. We could have caught this man a long time ago. Anyway, that's mine.
Facts.
Who's your clown
of the week is just as interesting. It's been all over the news. FBI catches some other idiots, but now the FBI is accusing wealthy parents and including 2 big celebrities, in college entrance bribery scheme. If you have not heard about this story, Google it, listen to it. It's a must.
I don't know how you couldn't have.
Yeah, you need to check this out. So basically what happened is a Justice Department on Tuesday charged 50 people, including 2 television stars, with participating in a multi-million-dollar bribery scheme that enabled privileged students with lackluster grades to attend prestigious colleges and universities. So cheating on entrance exams, bribing college officials to say certain students were athletic recruits when they never even played a sport in their life. Like, how the hell do people get in school and say you're going to be on a college athletic team when you never even played a sport? The bigger issue is, why did not these universities investigate this and say, wait, this guy's not on my team, I never recruited him? I don't know. It's probably bigger, deeper than we ever could imagine. Numerous schools are targeted, like Georgetown, Yale, Stanford, University of Texas, USC, among others. Wow. Crazy. So the celebrities, I think, that were implicated in this, I can't find it. One was actress Felicity Huffman, best known for her role on the television show Desperate Housewives, and Lori Loughlin, who appeared on Full House. Obviously, there's a lot of other people. I think 33 parents have been indicted, and they said more to come. Some of these parents will pay people upwards of $400,000 and $500,000 to get their kid into the university. That must mean if you got to pay $500,000 to get your kid into the university, that kid is stupid, crazy, like just not smart. I've seen some of the kids. They show like a picture of one of the kids immediately after she got into the school, doing like paid ads on Instagram. So already trying to get that return on investment very quick. Like, oh, I can't believe I got into USC or like some crazy school like that, knowing damn well you should not have been there. When the FBI is involved, they're going to find something, and they had to know if 50 plus people were in on this scheme, that they were eventually going to go down. It's an amazing story of white privilege finally backfiring on someone. I'm glad something happened. So for that, you guys get the clown of the week. Like I said, if you have not heard this story, Google it, find a YouTube video.
It's insane.
Incredible.
Yeah, Felicity Huffman is William H. Macy's wife, and that's the dad from Shameless.
That's what it is. That's crazy.
It's freaking crazy. The craziest part about this was that they said the kids had no idea. Excuse me? The kids had no idea that someone was taking the SATs for them, that someone was photoshopping their head onto pictures of them rowing boats. Like, come on. Y'all knew. Y'all knew your grades. Y'all knew you didn't deserve to get into school.
Absolutely. That is nuts. But this has been another episode. 81's down. That was a good one. I'm always glad and happy to come back and talk shit with you on here. It's always one of the best hours of my week.
The show. Such a fun time. 81 episodes.
81, 19 to 100. So you have fun. St. Patty's in Chicago. We'll get a full recap next week. I'll be here for St. Patty's in Tampa, so we'll compare stories, stay out of trouble, drink a lot of green beer, and have fun on that cruise. I'm sure it's going to be crazy.
I definitely will. You have fun in Tampa.
Yeah, I will do. So we'll be back next week for the full recap and more. We're going to have a guest come on the show here very soon. So this has been episode 81. This is B. Hun.
And Kate.
Thank you, Alternative Fact Chicago. We love you all, and we are out.
Bye.
Peace.